So Fantastic Four came out, and I would say that it's pretty fantastic.
Say that again?
It's fantastic.
Yes, it is. Guys, I got it.
No, but in all seriousness, though, it was a pretty good movie. Not perfect, but it was a pretty good, solid Marvel movie. The majority of this review will be in a non-spoiler fashion, but I will let you know around the end of this video when I do start talking about spoilers. Now, this movie starts off 4 years after the Fantastic Four have been established, so it shows how they got their powers and the villains that they dealt with, and how they've lived in this world after the years they've gotten their powers. They're like a beloved group of people in this world, and I really like that. I kind of like that we got to see just like, we didn't have to go through this whole like part of showing their backstory or whatever, because I think that's kind of tired and run through of movies. Because I feel like back in the day they'd waste like 30 minutes of the movie going through someone's backstory, even though like everyone knows that Uncle Ben dies in Spider-Man. Everyone knows that the Batman's parents die. We don't have to go through a 30-minute scene of that happening, just waste the audience's time. Everyone who's seen the movie basically knows that. Now, the Fantastic Four are a little bit, lesser known than those characters, but I think just having a 5-minute, exposition scene showing how they got their powers, who they are, what relationships they have together, and, just showing that in a 5-minute scene is a lot better than wasting like 30 minutes on them. But talking about the timing and that, one of my first gripes with this movie is the pacing of this movie. It's a little bit fast in my opinion, and things kind of just happen way too quickly in this movie. Like, they're going from like one area to this area, and like everything in this movie I liked, but there just wasn't enough, like, there wasn't enough meat on the bone, I guess to say. Like, there just wasn't enough time for these people, these characters to develop enough. And what I saw was great, but I just wanted more. I wanted more from this character. I wanted more development. I wanted more action scenes. I wanted more dialogue. I just wanted more from this movie. Because, like, the characters are great. The relationship between Sue Storm and Reed Richards is great as husband and wife. And okay, this might be a little spoiler for someone who hasn't watched the trailers. They have a kid together, and, seeing the troubles that they go through, and, this guy was trying to balance being a superhero and also trying to be a dad. That's interesting. That's cool, right? But then also, like, with, Ben and Johnny Storm, their relationship, they actually seem like friends. Like, it's not, like, manufactured or fake at all. Like, they actually seem like real buddies, and I could see myself acting this way with my friends, like all the time. They seem like an actual, real friendship with these two. And honestly, I just wanted more from everything. I wanted more from that. Another character I think got really underutilized compared to the rest was the Silver Surfer, Shala Bull. She's a very interesting character and has a lot of, like, promise, and they show, like, glimpses of it, but they just don't expand at all on it. Like, the most they give you, and I guess this is, like, a little spoiler, I guess, the most they show you is like a little clip of like her backstory, I guess, throughout at some point in the movie, and it's like for like a minute to a minute and a half maximum, and I feel like that's kind of like very shitty to do for like a very integral character of the movie. Like, she's the Herald of Galactus, and you're just gonna like kind of like skim over like who she is and like what she is and like her backstory. I think that's very interesting for someone who's like the herald who like helps Galactus and seeing who they are and where they came from. That's super cool. So I don't know why you just like skim over it like it's not important and like the audience wouldn't care. That's just another issue with the pacing. I think this movie was a little too short, which is very rare for me to say, but I think it could have actually been helped by an extra like 5 to 10 minutes on top of its runtime and being a 2-hour movie instead of an hour 55 or an hour 50, I think. I think some extra runtime minutes would have definitely helped it. But the action scenes in this movie are great. All the people saying the CGI wasn't going to be good and all that stuff from the trailers, it looks nothing like the trailers. It looks way better in the theater. The CGI I never really thought was bad except for like one scene with Invisible Woman because someone was like touching her face and she went invisible. It didn't look the best, but it didn't look terrible. I also think Galactus was a great villain. He was very scary. Anytime he was on screen, it kind of gave me chills. I was always paying attention. Every word he spoke, I was like hinging on like very closely, and he was a great villain. He was very scary, and every time the Fantastic Four had to deal with him or like talk about him to the public, it was always interesting and always scary. He was a great villain. But on that point, I wish the Fantastic Four was able to deal with like other like B tier villains before Galactus, like maybe like show like an opening scene of them like fighting some B tier villain, because they kind of just go from like living the high life and like being like everyone loves them and all this stuff, and like just living a super kind of like, you know, normal okay life, you know, pretty decent great life, to like fighting this otherworldly threat of Galactus. It's just like, geez, give these guys some, you know, time to have a break. But that's not really much of a critique. It's more something like I wished was in the movie. And that's the thing with this film, is that like a lot of everything in the movie I really love. I just wanted more from it. I wanted more from that. I wanted more character development, as I said. I wanted more, you know, dialogue. I wanted things to sit longer, you know. It seems like things just kind of move from one thing to another with no time for stuff to breathe, right? But I really can't get too mad at the movie for that. Like, if that's my only gripe with the movie, then like I think it's a good job. I think if I'm wanting more from the movie at the end of it, then you really can't blame it for too much. I do wish that it was over 2 hours, but a lot of people have been complaining for the past couple of years that every movie should be 2 hours plus. So I can kind of commend them for making it less than 2 hours. So now I'm going to get some of my spoiler points out of the way. So if you guys don't want to hear spoilers, haven't watched the movie, I'd recommend clicking off the video now. But spoilers, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So in the movie, a big part of this, one of my only gripes with the movie, it's kind of just like my own personal opinion. In the movie, Galactus wants Reed Richards and Sue Storm's kid. They want him because he's like a cosmic entity. Galactus wants him because he's like super powerful. The kid's going to be super strong. And if you guys know anything about the comics, Reed Richards' son is very powerful. But he wants his son, right? And the Fantastic Four end up telling the public that Galactus wants his son, and that Galactus will spare the planet if his son is given to Galactus, right? And then these people are like protesting and stuff against the Fantastic Four, telling them just like give up the kid so they can all live and all this, and people are getting really upset in the streets and like protesting, getting angry. And the way they're able to like dispatch this and like calm the people down is like by being like, guys, we're a family. We humans, we are family. And then like everyone just like was like, okay, all right, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we love you guys again. Okay, yeah, we'll all work together. I'm sorry, but this is not like some fairy tale dream world of like that's not happening. The kid they're storming into the building and taking the kid and giving it to Galactus. That would not happen. If the whole world is being threatened by a cosmic entity and the only way they can be saved is by giving up one little baby, that baby's cooked, guys. I'm sorry. It's cooked. I'm sorry. It's just, it's souffled. It's cooked. It's over. But I will give it a little bit of a pass because this movie is something I kind of enjoyed. Is it's really comic booky. Like the people in it, and like I guess it's more because of that like 60s futuristic vibe, I guess. It just feels super comic booky and like lively and just like more upbeat tonally. Even though Galactus is a very serious threat, I can't really put my finger on it. I don't know why I really feel this way, but it's like one of the most comic booky Marvel movies I've ever seen. I guess maybe because like one part of the movie they're trying to like, you know, teleport the planet to hide from Galactus, and they put all these different structures around the whole world like works together and stuff. That just seems like straight out of a comic book movie, you know? Or like when the Fantastic Four just like, oh, Galactus is in space, I guess we're going to space now. Like, you just go to space. Like, it just feels really comic booky and like lively, and I like that. I like this kind of new trend. It seems like of like Superman, now Fantastic Four, of these new superhero movies not being afraid to like, you know, be like the source material it's from, but people actually like. What it got mainly popular of in the first place is the source material in the comic books. Be more comic booky. I think superhero movies have established themselves enough to where like they don't have to be like super serious and like action movies, right? You guys kind of be a little silly and like dive into more of the comic booky topics. Like, look at Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a clear example of that. Like, you can definitely dive into some of the more silly comic booky stuff and still make a great movie that people love. And last little tidbit of spoilers, the Doom end thing, the little end credit with Doctor Doom, that was super cool, really awesome, like that, and I cannot wait for Avengers Doomsday. But yeah, overall, I would give this movie a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Really solid, really good Marvel movie. Really enjoyed it. It's not the best Marvel movie of all time. It's not setting a new standard, as some of these people are saying. I don't think it's the best thing ever, but it's really good. I think it sets a good, foundation for this like next phase of Marvel, I guess. I don't even know if this is like another phase. I don't know what phase we're in at this point. I've not been really keeping up with Marvel as I used to back in the day, but I think it sets good precedent. And I think that if the Marvel movies can keep having this similar quality, Marvel will be so back. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys later.